The desert was silent, except for the rattle of bones hanging from a medicine tree. Jesse Harlan's boots scraped the red dust as Apache warriors circled him. Painted faces, bows drawn, eyes sharp as flint. The campfire spat sparks into the night, painting the canyon walls in gold and blood. He stood tall even with his hands bound, chest rising slow, unbroken. He'd been caught trespassing and accused of spying, stealing, lying. But all he'd done was ride too far across a land not meant for white men. The chief's voice thundered through the camp. At sunrise, this cowboy dies. The crowd cheered. Torches lifted. The tribe had judged, until a single voice, in soft, calm, unmistakably female, broke the circle. The chief's daughter stepped forward, her hair catching the firelight like a halo of night, and she spoke 4 words that would stop every heart cold. He once saved me. The Arizona sun had teeth that day. It bit into Jesse's neck as he rode through the canyon, his canteen near empty. He'd been following the faint tracks of a stray calf for 3 days, through red cliffs, dry creeks, and country no white man dared cross. Jesse Harlan wasn't new to danger. He'd scouted for the Union Army, hunted mustangs, and lived through more than one winter alone. But he wasn't ready for what waited beyond the ridge. 3 Apache riders appeared on the cliff, silent as shadows. Jesse froze. The desert air thickened. Then the whistle of a lasso. It wrapped his arm, then his neck. His horse reared, screaming. He hit the ground hard, the air leaving his lungs in a rush. Before he could grab his colt, another rider was on him, pressing a spear to his throat. Jesse's voice rasped. "I ain't looking for trouble." The warrior jabbed the spear deeper. "You found it." They stripped him of his rifle, his saddlebag, his knife. He tried to explain that he'd lost his way, that the calf was his only trail, but no one listened. They bound his hands, tied him to a horse, and dragged him across 10 miles of sun-baked earth until the mountains gave way to a wide valley, a village of the Chiricahua Apache. The women stopped grinding corn. The children ran to watch. Men rose from the fire, faces painted red and black, their eyes sharp with judgment. A tall man stepped forward, his hair silver, his chest covered in turquoise beads. Chief Katoa. Beside him stood a young woman in a tan deerskin dress, her posture proud, her gaze steady. Her name was Nita, and though she said nothing, Jesse caught a flicker of recognition in her eyes. He couldn't place it yet, but he'd seen that face before. At dusk, they brought him before the tribe. The fire in the center burned high, throwing light over the faces of 50 warriors. The drums stopped when Chief Katoa stood. "This man crossed our land," he said in Apache, his words translated by a young brave beside him. "He carried guns and maps, the marks of a spy. We will hear his words before he dies." Jesse's throat was dry, his voice cracked but firm. "I was following a lost calf, that's all. I don't want your land, I don't want your fight." A warrior laughed bitterly. "And your gold, your guns? Those too are for the calf." They held up Jesse's saddlebag. Inside, 2 polished rifles, ammunition, and a folded map with Apache symbols marked in charcoal. The crowd erupted. "Spy! Thief! Killer of our kin!" Jesse shook his head hard. "Those ain't mine. Someone planted 'em." The chief's eyes were cold as stone. "You lie. I don't." Jesse barked. "I swear it." Nita stepped forward then, voice calm but strong. "Father, let me see the map." Kotoa hesitated but handed it over. She opened it under the firelight and frowned. "These trails," she said quietly, "they show Ghost Valley. No white man knows that place." The murmurs stopped. The chief looked uneasy. How could he have this? Jesse swallowed. "Because someone gave it to me. Harkner, the arms trader out of Tucson, said it'd help me find cattle. I didn't know it was Apache ground." Nita froze. "Harkner?" "Yes," Jesse said. "You know him?" Her jaw clenched. "He betrayed my people once. Sold rifles to our enemies." The chief slammed his staff into the dirt. "Enough, his lies smell of blood. He dies at sunrise." But Nita didn't move. She stared at Jesse a long time, then whispered, "Let me speak for him." The circle fell silent. No woman had ever spoken in judgment, especially for a white man. Kotoa's voice turned thunderous. "You would defend him?" She met her father's eyes. "Not yet. But I will find the truth before dawn. The moon rose high over the valley. Jesse sat tied to a post, the fire dying low. When he heard soft footsteps behind him, he didn't turn. "I figured you'd come," he said quietly. Nita stepped into view, holding a torch. "You're either the bravest fool I've met or the luckiest." "I ain't either," Jesse said. "Just tired of being blamed for things I didn't do." She knelt, studying the map again. "You spoke of Harkner. He trades with soldiers. He's been selling land rights he doesn't own," Jesse exhaled. "Then he's using me as his scapegoat. Send a cowboy across the border, get him killed, blame it on the Apache." She nodded slowly. "If I tell my father that, he'll think I've been deceived." "Then why are you here?" She hesitated. "Because once a stranger helped me. My horse was trapped in a ravine near Dead Canyon." He cut the rope, freed her, and walked away without a word. "That man was you," Jesse blinked. "That was you." She smiled faintly. "You didn't even look back." "I didn't need to," Jesse murmured. "You had fire in your eyes. Same as now." Outside, drums started again, slow and rhythmic. The dawn ceremony, Nita rose. "If I speak for you, I risk exile." "Then don't," Jesse said gently. "I've lived through worse than death." She shook her head. "No, you once saved me. Now I'll save you." The first light of dawn painted the cliffs gold. The tribe gathered once more. Jesse stood between two guards, wrists bound, dirt on his face. The chief raised his hand. "The sun rises. Has truth been found?" Nita stepped forward, holding the map high. "Yes." She told them of Harkner, of his lies, his guns, his forged marks. She spoke of the trails no white man could know unless he'd been shown by betrayal. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. The elders frowned. The chief stared hard. "And you trust this man's word?" he demanded. Nita took a breath. Then, with every eye upon her, she said it, calm and clear as the dawn itself. "He once saved me." The words hit like thunder. The crowd froze. The chief's staff trembled slightly. "You speak truth?" "Yes," she said. "In Dead Canyon. He risked his life to save mine. The spirits see balance. His life is not owed to death." For a long, painful silence, no one moved. Then, slowly, the chief lowered his staff. "The spirits do not ask for the blood of the innocent," he said. "He will live." Jesse's ropes were cut. His wrists fell free. He looked at Nita. Her chin high, her heart blazing, he whispered, "You just risked your world for me." She smiled softly. "You'd have done the same." The chief turned to Jesse. "You are free to go. But your life belongs to her word now. Remember that," Jesse nodded. "Then I'll guard it with mine." As he rode away, the sun rose higher, golden, vast, endless. Behind him, Nita stood at the edge of the camp, watching his silhouette fade into the desert. Somewhere deep inside her chest, she knew this was not their ending. Only the beginning of a legend whispered in both tongues. The cowboy who faced death and lived by the mercy of a woman's 4 words.